The Almighty Warrior of the Female President. Episode 1. Are you also a soldier, King? The president's office was filled with smoke. Su Qing looked at the young man sitting sloppily on the sofa and frowned as she asked, "Are you really my brother's comrade in arms?" "Of course, your brother and I are revolutionary comrades in arms, and we are friends for life." Xiao Chen smiled and nodded. "This girl is even prettier than in the photo." Her fair skin, delicate features, pretty face, and her plump breasts all attracted his attention. "Why hasn't my brother come back?" "Half a month ago, you called your brother and said you had some troubles and hoped he could come back to help you. After he received your call, he applied for a long leave from the army, but it was not approved because there was an important mission that required him, the king of soldiers, to execute." Su Qing's face changed slightly, and she asked worriedly, "What mission? Is it dangerous?" "It's a top secret mission." "I don't know." "Then when can he come back?" "He went abroad, it will take at least half a year." "Oh." Xiao Chen took a deep puff of cigarette. "Your brother asked me to help you solve your troubles before he left. Tell me, what troubles have you encountered?" Su Qing looked at Xiao Chen with suspicion. "Are you also a special forces king?" "No, I'm in charge of logistics." "Logistics? What specifically?" "Raising pigs." "What? Raising pigs?" Su Qing was a little dazed. "Yes, I tell you, I am an expert in pig farming in our company, and I have made contributions in pig farming." "Okay." Su Qing couldn't listen any longer and interrupted Xiao Chen, "I don't think that a pig farmer can help me solve the problem." Xiao Chen smiled, "Haha, you haven't told me what trouble you encountered, how do you know I can't solve it?" "What trouble?" "I can't tell you for the time being, but I can tell you one thing, I need someone to protect the personal safety of me and my sister. You, a pig farmer, who is responsible for logistics, have no ability to protect us." "Who said that pig farmers have no ability to protect you?" "Let me tell you, at that time, there was a pig in our company that had become a spirit. It jumped out of the nearly 2-meter-high guardrail. Several king-level soldiers, including your brother, failed to stop it, and I managed to catch it back. From this we can see that my skills are not worse than your brother's." Su Qing looked at Xiao Chen, who was bragging, and couldn't help rubbing his temples. When did Big Brother become unreliable and find such a guy? "Forget it, let's follow my own plan and find some bodyguards." "Mr. Xiao, I can solve my own problems. You should go back to the army as soon as possible." "I'm not going back." "Why?" "I was fired." Su Qing was speechless. Was he fired from the army? Then what are your plans next? "Your brother and I are brothers, and his sister is my sister, so I plan to stay in Longhai City for a while to help you solve your problems." Su Qing had a headache. This was not to solve her own problems, but to cause trouble. To be honest, she didn't have a good impression of Xiao Chen, and she had great doubts about his ability. He couldn't even raise a pig, and she expected him to protect herself and her sister? She was now very suspicious. Did her eldest brother see that this guy was homeless and pitied him, so he introduced him here? Otherwise, she would just arrange a job for him? Before she could figure out how to arrange for Xiao Chen, the female assistant walked in. "Boss Su, Ren Kuan is here." Su Qing frowned. "What is he doing here?" "I won't see you." "Haha, why are you still hiding from me?" The office door was pushed open, and a young man wearing branded clothes and holding a rose in his hand walked in. "Ren Kuan, who let you in?" Su Qing's pretty face turned cold, and disgust flashed in her eyes. "Xiao Qing, I haven't seen you for a few days. You are more charming." Ren Kuan glanced at Su Qing's chest with lustful eyes and raised the rose. "Do you like it?" "It's for you." Su Qing didn't take it, and her voice became colder. "What are you doing here?" "Haha, I heard that you wanted to find a bodyguard, so I sent you a master." Ron Kuan finished speaking and clapped his hands twice. "Come in." As soon as Ron Kuan finished speaking, a burly young man walked in, wearing a black suit and black sunglasses, looking quite intimidating. "Xiao Qing, let me introduce you to this guy. He's quite an expert. He served in the Lengia Special Forces. Do you know Lengia? It's the one you see on TV. It's the most powerful Special Forces brigade. One person can easily beat a dozen people. Ron Kuan patted the burly young man's chest and introduced him. Langya? Haha, you've seen too much, right? Before Ron Kuan could finish his boast, a mocking voice sounded from the side. Ron Kuan's face darkened, and he turned his head and glared at Xiao Chen. Boy, who are you? I'm President Su's bodyguard. Bodyguard? Ren Kuan looked down at Xiao Chen. You? Yes, me. Fuck, any Tom, Dick, dares to be a bodyguard? Ren Kuan sneered disdainfully. You're fired, get out. Su Qing's pretty face changed, and just as she was about to speak, she saw Xiao Chen slowly stand up. Let me get out? Who do you think you are? Ron Kuan was stunned, then he was furious. What the hell, a bodyguard dared to talk to him like that? Along, cripple him for me. Yes. Seeing his master speak, the burly young man stepped forward and prepared to take action. Stop. Su Qing said coldly, Ren Kuan, this is my office, not a place for you to run wild. Xiao Qing, there are too many scammers nowadays, don't be fooled by cats and dogs. I'll let Along try him and see if he really has the ability to be your bodyguard. Su Qing glanced at Xiao Chen and said nothing. In fact, she also wanted to know if this guy was really capable. Now, let this wolf-toothed Special Forces soldier be the touchstone, maybe we can see something. Ron Kuan was delighted to see that Su Qing did not stop him. As long as Along showed his strength and defeated this idiot, he could stay with Su Qing. Then, hey, let's see how she can escape from his palm. Thinking of this, Ron Kuan was completely excited. He waved his hand and said, Along, beat him. The burly young man smiled grimly, rushed towards Xiao Chen, and punched him hard. Wolf fangs, right? I'll beat you into dog fangs. When the burly young man's fist was about to hit Xiao Chen's face, he moved, as powerful as thunder, and punched out as well. Bang! The fists of the two collided in the air, making a muffled sound. The next second, the burly young man screamed and flew backwards, hitting Ren Kuan heavily. Ouch! Get off me, you're crushing me to death. Ron Kuan was knocked to the ground and screamed. The burly young man covered his broken wrist and climbed up despite the pain. His eyes were full of fear when he looked at Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen walked forward slowly, stepped on Ren Kuan's chest, leaned over and asked, Mr. Ren, right? Tell me now, am I capable of being a bodyguard for President Su? Ouch, boy, you fucking. Slap. Xiao Chen slapped Ren Kuan in the face. Be more careful with your mouth, don't keep saying you fucking, don't think you can be willful just because your last name is Ren, understand? The burning pain almost drove Ren Kuan crazy. When had he, the great Mr. Ren, ever been slapped in the face? You fucking. Slap. Another slap in the face, and it was even heavier than the last one. You still haven't learned your lesson, have you? When you talk to your parents at home, you keep saying you fucking? You, boy, do you know who I am? Ron Kuan said angrily, not daring to scold anymore. Heh, can you be a little innovative? It's been so many years, and you're still using it? I don't care what your background is, and I don't care who your father is. I just want to ask you, do I have the ability to be a bodyguard for President Su? Ron Kuan gritted his teeth and said, yes. A real man can bend and stretch, so he bent first. Xiao Chen, let him go. Su Qing finally spoke up. Ron Kuan has some background, and he can't offend him too much. Xiao Chen nodded and raised his foot that was stepping on Ron Kuan. Mr. Ren, with me here, you don't have to worry about President Su's safety. Now, take your wolf-tooth special forces. Get out. Ron Kuan got up from the ground, stared at Xiao Chen, and a sinister look flashed across his face. Boy. Get out. Xiao Chen raised his fist, and Ren Kuan turned around and ran away in fear. After Ren Kuan ran out of the office, the clamor came from outside again. Boy, wait for me. I must kill you. Sister Lan, you go out first. Su Qing said to the female assistant. Okay. The female assistant nodded, glanced at Xiao Chen, and turned away. The office door was closed. Su Qing sat down, staring at Xiao Chen. You are really a pig farmer? Of course, why would I lie to you? Xiao Chen nodded. He didn't lie, but the pig he mentioned was not a meat-eating pig. Su Qing opened her mouth. She wanted to ask, how could a pig farmer be so powerful? However, she didn't ask any more questions. Just now, she figured out one thing. No matter how strong or weak this guy is, at least one thing is certain, that is, he is trustworthy, otherwise the big brother would not let him come. Besides, how could the big brother who loves herself and her little sister find a weak person to help him solve his troubles? Thinking of this, she made a decision. Special Almighty Soldier King began his urban journey, which also started with this book. Everyone is welcome to join the group to discuss. Episode 2. Indenture. Mr. Xiao, do you have a place to live in Longhai? Not yet. I just arrived today and plan to rent a house tomorrow. Don't bother, just live with us. Huh? Xiao Chen's eyes widened. Living together? Su Qing rolled her eyes. Don't think of it in a wrong way. Living together just makes it easier for you to protect me and my sister. Ahem, I don't think of it in a wrong way, Xiao Chen coughed. Do you trust me so much? I don't trust you, I trust my brother. Chen nodded, a strange look in his eyes. With me here, I will definitely protect you sisters. No matter what trouble you have, I will help you solve it. Okay, thank you Mr. Xiao. Su Qing smiled. She had changed her impression of Xiao Chen a little. Haha, what are you thanking me for? Your brother and I are brothers. Mr. Xiao. Su Qing, you'd better not call me Mr. Xiao. It seems strange. Just call me by my name or Brother Chen. Su Qing nodded. Xiao Chen, although you and my brother are comrades in arms, since you came to Longhai City to help me, I can't let you work in vain. How about a monthly salary of 20,000 yuan? Xiao Chen was stunned. There is also a salary? This girl is really particular. If you think it's too little, then. No, 20,000 yuan is not a small amount. Xiao Chen smiled and shook his head. He came here purely because of the man's promise, not for money. If he wants to make money, just say it casually, with an annual salary of 200 million, there will be many people begging him to go. Seeing that Xiao Chen agreed, Su Qing chatted with her for a few more words, then called the female assistant in and said, Xiao Chen, go sign the contract with Sister Lan first. I also have to deal with some things. Let's talk after work. Okay. Xiao Chen nodded and left with the female assistant. Su Qing looked at Xiao Chen's back and narrowed her eyes. Can he really do it? Once the news leaks out, it will be a huge trouble. Coming to the next office, Xiao Chen retracted his gaze from the female assistant's round buttocks. Sister Lan, we will be half colleagues in the future. Let's get to know each other again. My name is Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen stretched out his right hand and looked at the female assistant with a smile. This is a coquettish woman. Coquettish, sometimes it is not a derogatory word, but a commendatory word, representing infinite charm. Although she is not as beautiful as Su Qing, her figure is top-notch, and her whole body is filled with mature charm, just like a ripe peach. A bite is enough to make all men unforgettable. Qinlan, Mr. Su's assistant. The female assistant shook hands with Xiao Chen, and then she smiled. She could clearly feel that this man gently squeezed her hand, with a hint of frivolity, but not excessive. Sister Lan, take good care of her in the future. Xiao Chen released his right hand, and the corners of his mouth curved up. What an interesting woman. Qinlan smiled and nodded, sit down first, I'll prepare the contract for you. Soon, the contract was ready, and Xiao Chen didn't even look at it and quickly signed his name. Haha, don't you take a look? Aren't you afraid that this is a contract to sell your body? Selling your body? If I can really sell it to Su Qing, I won't suffer a loss. Then sell it to me? Qinlan smiled charmingly. Sell it to you? Xiao Qing glanced at Qinlan's chest that almost burst the white shirt, grinning, that's even more profitable. Virtue. Qinlan rolled her eyes at Xiao Chen, but was not angry. Through some small talk, the relationship between the two was obviously a lot closer, and Xiao Chen also learned about Su Qing and the company's recent situation from Qinlan. Although there were a lot of troubles, he still felt that these were not the fundamental reasons why Su Qing called her brother. Unable to figure it out, Xiao Chen stopped thinking about it, and he would naturally know after a long time. I won't talk nonsense with you anymore. Have some tea first. I'll deal with the documents. Xiao Chen looked at the pile of documents and smacked his lips. So many? Well, these are internal documents of the company. I'll deal with them and submit them to General Manager Su. Oh. Xiao Chen picked up a random document and started reading it. Qin Lan didn't care about him anymore and lowered her head to do her own thing. After about 5 minutes, Xiao Chen put the document in front of her. Sister Lan, how do you think it looks? Qin Lan was stunned, took a closer look, and widened her eyes. Is this your annotation? Yes, I don't know the company either. I can only talk about the general situation. For the details, I can only rely on you, Sister Lan. Qin Lan read it again, raised her head suddenly, and her eyes were shining. Xiao Chen was startled. Sister Lan, why are you looking at me like that? You are a talent. Come on, help me deal with these two. After Qin Lan finished speaking, she gave Xiao Chen a few more copies. Xiao Chen was speechless. Damn, are they using him as a free laborer? Don't look like that. I'll treat you to dinner some other day. Okay. Xiao Chen nodded and went back to work. 20 minutes later, he put a few documents in front of Qin Lan. Qin Lan was stunned. So fast? Did they handle it carelessly? But after she finished reading it, she didn't know what to say. After a long while, she squeezed out a sentence, "Are you here to steal my job?" Before Xiao Chen could say anything else, the phone on the table rang. Qin Lan picked up the phone, agreed, and hung up. Sit down first, I'll go downstairs to get a package. Sister Lan, leave this rough work to me, I'll get it for you. Okay, thank you very much. After Xiao Chen left, Qin Lan picked up a few documents again, thought about it, and went to the president's office. Xiao Qing, here. Since there were no outsiders around, Qin Lan didn't call President Su, and handed the documents to Su Qing. Sister Lan, why are you so fast today? Su Qing took it and took a look at it. Hey, this is not your handwriting. Who wrote it? Xiao Chen. He? Su Qing was stunned for a moment, then looked at it carefully. The more she looked, the bigger her eyes became. Sister Lan, was this really written by him? Qin Lan smiled bitterly and nodded. Are you surprised? If you knew how long it took him to finish these documents, you would definitely be more surprised. How long? More than 20 minutes. Su Qing was stunned. How is this possible? Even for you, Sister Lan, it would probably take 40 to 50 minutes, right? That's right, and the processing may not be so perfect. Although he doesn't know our company, in general, it is very perfect, especially the one from the marketing department. Su Qing hurriedly took out the one from the marketing department and looked at it again. It was just as Qin Lan said, perfect, and it also solved a problem that had been bothering her for several days. Xiao Qing, is this guy really your brother's comrade in arms? Is there such a talent in the army? Su Qing looked at Qin Lan with a strange tone. If I say that he is a pig farmer in the army, do you believe it? Qin Lan was stunned. Pig farmer? In the office, the two women were not very calm, and Xiao Chen, who received the express delivery, was also full of curiosity. It's packed so tightly, it can't be a sex toy like a vibrator? He thought of Qin Lan's sexy style, and a picture that was not suitable for children emerged in his mind, and he couldn't help but reveal an evil smile. When Xiao Chen returned to the office, Qin Lan had already returned. Sister Lan, here. Qin Lan took it and put it aside casually. Xiao Chen, sister, let me discuss something with you. What? In the future, when you are free, come to my sister more often and help me, how about it? Don't worry, sister won't let you help for nothing. Qin Lan smiled, her eyes were as charming as silk. Xiao Chen looked at Qin Lan's charming look and teased her, Sister Lan, if you kiss me, I will agree to it. Boo. Qin Lan leaned over to Xiao Chen's face and kissed him lightly. Xiao Chen was a little dumbfounded. Damn, this girl is stronger than he thought. Is it okay now? Qin Lan chuckled, looking at Xiao Chen's silly look, a hint of pride flashed in her eyes. No, you have to kiss. It was Qin Lan's turn to be stunned. This guy's face was much thicker than he thought. Sister Lan, come on, kiss me. Xiao Chen pouted. Go to hell, you are asking for more. Qin Lan cursed with a smile and waved her hand, get out of here quickly, President Su is waiting for you. Okay, then I'll get out. Goodbye, Sister Lan. Xiao Chen smiled and just left the office. He saw Su Qing coming out with a bag. Are you off work? Well, let's go. The two took the elevator downstairs and came to the parking lot. When Xiao Chen saw the black Maserati president, his eyes lit up obviously. Su Qing noticed his gaze and threw the key over. You drive it. Okay. Xiao Chen grinned, started the car, and slowly drove towards the door. Before he reached the door, he saw a large group of people pouring in from outside, as many as 20 or 30 of them, all holding sticks in their hands. In the front was Ren Kuan, whose half-face was swollen like a pig's head. He was holding a baseball bat, looking majestic. Mr. Ren, look, it's that guy. Next to him, a burly bodyguard with a bandage on his wrist pointed at the Maserati and shouted. Ren Kuan took a closer look, his face grim. Stop the car. 20 or 30 hooligans agreed, and in a flash, they blocked the road. Ren Kuan raised his baseball bat and pointed at Xiao Chen in the driver's seat of the Maserati. Boy, get the fuck out of here. Episode 3. Su Xiaomeng. Su Qing saw the situation and her face changed. What should I do? Haha, don't worry, just sit tight. Xiao Chen looked at the shouting Ren Kuan, smiled, stepped on the accelerator, and the originally slow Maserati suddenly accelerated, like a beast, rushing forward. Oh my god. Ren Kuan and others looked at the Maserati rushing towards them, screamed in fear, and ran to the side to hide. The Maserati did not slow down at all, rushed out of the gap in the crowd at a very fast speed, and disappeared from their sight. After leaving the company, Xiao Chen slowed down the car and looked at Su Qing, whose face was pale. Are you okay? Huh? Su Qing breathed a sigh of relief and stared at Xiao Chen with some fear. Aren't you afraid of hitting them to death? Haha, I know what I'm doing. It took more than a minute for Su Qing to calm down. I thought you would get out of the car and beat them up. Compared to physical attack, I prefer to convince people with reason. Really? I didn't see that. Su Qing rolled her eyes and thought of something. By the way, is the bodyguard that Ren Kuan brought really from Wolffang? Wolffang? Haha, this name is completely made up. The real sharp blade will never be exposed to the world. Oh, for example, you guys, right? Yes. Xiao Chen nodded and changed the subject. Su Qing, what's Qin Lan's background? She's my good friend, what's wrong? Nothing, I just feel that she doesn't look like an ordinary assistant to the president. She is a BA from Harvard Business School. With her ability, she can work in any large group or company in China. However, she has been abroad. After I started my own business, I called her, hoping that she could come back to help me. Later, she agreed, but also put forward a condition that she would not be a senior executive of the company, but only be my assistant. Xiao Chen raised his eyebrows and smiled. What a strange woman. Are you alumni? I remember your brother said that you also studied abroad. No, I'm from MIT. Well, you are all academic masters, which makes me, a poor student, feel ashamed. Which poor student can handle several documents in such a short time? Su Qing looked at Xiao Chen and said slowly. Didn't Li Bai say that I was born with talents and I must be useful, and poor students are not necessarily useless, right? Su Qing didn't say anything more. She felt that this man was like a thick book, and she had only opened the first page now. There is still a long time to go, don't rush, turn it slowly, there will always be a time to finish it. Half an hour later, the Maserati arrived at the Tulip Villa area and drove into the yard of a villa. My little sister may be back. Su Qing opened the door to the living room. Come in. Okay. Xiao Chen just entered the living room and heard a voice from upstairs. Sister, who is he? Xiao Chen looked up and saw a girl standing at the stairs. She was tall and had a delicate face. She looked a bit like Su Qing. Her shoulder-length hair was dyed with a strand of fiery red, which made her more unruly and wild. Looking down, she was wearing a small suspender, shorts, and round thighs, which were white and dazzling. Xiao Meng, come down, I'll introduce him to you. Su Qing waved her hand. The girl came down and looked at Xiao Chen. Sister, is this your boyfriend? The girl's words made Su Qing blush. What are you talking about, you little girl? His name is Xiao Chen, he is my brother's comrade in arms, and he was entrusted by my brother to come to Longhai to protect us. Bodyguard? Haha, you can say that. Xiao Chen smiled and nodded. Su Xiaomeng, right? Hello, I often hear your brother mention you. I don't have a brother, only a sister. Su Xiaomeng said coldly. Xiaomeng. Su Qing frowned. If you say that again, I'll be angry. Su Xiaoming glanced at Su Qing, pursed her lips, and said nothing more. Xiaoming, Xiao Chen will live at home from now on. What? He lives at home? Su Xiaoming's eyes widened. No. Why not? He is here to protect us. If you still have any objections, I will let him protect you closely and go to school with you. Not only Su Xiaoming was stunned, but even Xiao Chen was speechless. Close protection? Go to school? What? Are you asking your brother to accompany you to study? Damn. No, I don't want him to go to school with me. I know Kung Fu and I don't need his protection. Su Xiaoming, who had recovered from her shock, objected loudly. Besides, he may not be as good as me. Xiao Chen looked at Su Xiaoming's excitement and couldn't help laughing. What are you laughing at? Su Xiaoming glared at Xiao Chen. Do you want to compete? If you lose, get out. Xiaoming, how can you talk like that? Stop it. Su Qing's face sank. Su Xiaoming saw that her sister was angry and glared at Xiao Chen fiercely, not daring to say anything more. Xiao Chen, don't argue with her, just sit down, I'll go upstairs to change clothes first. Su Qing said to Xiao Chen. Okay. After Su Qing went upstairs, Su Xiaoming jumped up again. Boy, I ask you, do you dare to compete with me? I don't like bullying children. What? You said I'm a child? How am I small? Xiao Qing glanced at Su Xiaoming's chest with a playful look. The little lotus has just shown its pointed tip, and there are 2 chestnuts on the fried egg. Everything is small. Su Xiaoming noticed Xiao Chen's gaze, and when she heard his words, she flew into a rage. You bastard, what did you say? Su Xiaoming's small breasts were a knot in her heart. She often worried about this matter. Now that Xiao Chen described her as a poached egg, how could she not be angry? Don't get excited. Poached eggs are good. They are better than egg pancakes, right? Su Xiaoming was completely furious and kicked Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen dodged sideways and was slightly surprised. This girl is really good at Kung Fu? Have you practiced Taekwondo? 3rd degree black belt, are you scared? It's too late. Su Xiaoming's offensive became more fierce. Bang bang. Kick forward, kick down, kick sideways, turn around and kick sideways, 360 degrees turn around and kick sideways. Su Xiaoming's 2 big white legs burst out with amazing power, but what shocked her was that no matter how strong she was, how fast she was, or how weird the angle was, she couldn't hurt the other party. The speed is still too slow. It will be faster if I touch the ground with my toes. Su Xiaoming subconsciously exerted force according to the method Xiao Chen said. Sure enough, the speed was much faster, and the offense and defense were more flexible. Haha, not bad, the young man is teachable. Humph. Su Xiaoming snorted coldly, not appreciating it at all, and kicked Xiao Chen's neck again. Snap. Xiao Chen grabbed Su Xiaoming's ankle with his left hand. It was smooth to the touch, so he couldn't help but pinch it gently again. It felt good. Let me go, hooligan. Su Xiaoming stood on 1 foot on the ground and shouted angrily. If you don't bully me anymore, I'll let you go. Xiao Chen smiled and looked up along the big white legs. Unfortunately, she was wearing hot pants, not a short skirt. Su Xiaoming almost broke her teeth when she heard this. This is too shameless? Who is bullying whom? Are you going to let go? No, you're going to bite me? Xiao Chen continued to tease the little girl. You're looking for death. Su Xiaoming shouted softly, and her left leg supporting her body suddenly exerted force, and her body flew into the air and kicked towards Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen's eyes flashed with satisfaction, and he loosened Su Xiaoming's ankle and stepped back a few steps, and the latter also landed steadily on the ground. Stop, no more fighting. You said you won't fight, so don't fight? If you do it again, I'll go and tell your sister that I'll go to school with you and protect you closely. You, despicable. Su Xiaoming was angry, but she didn't dare to do it again. Ha ha ha. Xiao Chen laughed triumphantly. Little guy, can't I control you? What are you talking about? Are you so happy? Su Qing came down from the stairs. She changed into a set of home clothes, and she had a unique charm. Haha, Xiao Meng and I were talking about school. Xiao Chen smiled and deliberately glanced at Su Xiaoming. What she said made me want to go back to school to experience it. Su Xiaoming's face changed. This guy is too shameless. Oh. Really? Actually, I have this idea. The business world is like a battlefield. Although there is no smoke, it is also very cruel. I am fine, but I am most worried about Xiao Meng's safety. Well, it is true that people nowadays can do anything for the sake of profit. Kidnapping family members and so on are all common means. Xiao Chen was standing next to him, nodding his head with a look of approval. Su Xiaoming stared at Xiao Chen with murderous eyes. What on earth does this guy want to do? After Xiao Chen said this, Su Qing became more worried. Xiao Chen, are you willing to go to school to protect Xiao Meng? It's bad. Su Xiaoming's face changed again. She knew that as long as Xiao Chen agreed, her sister would definitely arrange this guy to go to school. She turned her head to look at Xiao Chen, and saw that he was looking at her with pride, which made her grit her teeth secretly. You son of a bitch, I'll let you know how powerful I am sooner or later. However, she really didn't dare to offend Xiao Chen now, for fear that this guy would say, okay, I'm willing to go to school, then her beautiful life would be ruined, and some secrets would have to be exposed. With thoughts flashing through her mind, Su Xiaoming took a deep breath, turned her back to Su Qing, put her hands together, and made a begging gesture to Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen smiled. Su Qing, it's actually not as scary as you think. The domestic security is still good. I just tested Xiao Meng's skills. I will train her when I have time. She will have no problem protecting herself. Su Xiaoming breathed a sigh of relief and chimed in, yes, sister, don't scare yourself. How can society be so dark? Besides, I'm a third-degree black belt. Anyone who dares to cause trouble to me will be beaten to a pulp. Su Qing saw that both of them said so and nodded, okay, Xiao Chen, thank you for your trouble anyway. Yeah, I will. Su Xiaoming looked at Xiao Chen and clenched her fists, you bastard, you are so righteous in front of your sister. Wait, I will definitely take off your disguise, let your sister know that you are a stinky hooligan, and kick you out. Either you or me. Episode 4. Trap at every step. Restaurant, at the dining table. Su Xiaoming bit her chopsticks and stared at Xiao Chen, who was eating rice in big mouthfuls. She cursed in her heart, damn it, why didn't you choke to death? Su Qing, I never thought that a beautiful CEO like you could cook so deliciously. Xiao Chen took a chopstick of food and praised it generously. Haha, Xiao Meng likes food, and I like to cook for her, so I specially studied it and even signed up for a few food classes. Su Qing smiled, looking at her younger sister with eyes full of doting. I'm so lucky to have a sister like you. Hey, Xiao Meng, why are you biting your chopsticks and not eating? Come, try this shrimp, it's so delicious. Xiao Chen took a few more shrimps while speaking. Su Xiaoming glared at Xiao Chen, damn it, you've almost eaten it all, what am I supposed to eat? At the same time, she felt a little aggrieved. In the past, her sister only cooked delicious food for her, but now there was an annoying guy, which made her feel like her favorite toy was taken away. Well, this is not bad either, Xiaoming, you should eat more, it's time to grow up. Xiao Chen said, and glanced at Su Xiaoming's chest. Gotcha. Su Xiaoming bit off the chopsticks, damn bastard, I'll buy laxatives tomorrow and let you poop until your chrysanthemum is broken and the ground is covered with blood, let's see if you dare to be so arrogant. After dinner, Su Qing arranged a place for Xiao Chen to stay, a guest room downstairs. Although she believed in Xiao Chen's character, there was a difference between men and women after all, and it would be better to have a relatively private space. Su Xiaoming did not express any opinion on this matter, because she already had a plan to get Xiao Chen out tomorrow. So, in her opinion, it didn't matter whether Xiao Chen lived upstairs or downstairs, it was just one night anyway. After Su Qing arranged for Xiao Chen, she went back to her room to take a shower. She was a little tired after a busy day. Bang. Hearing the sound of the door closing upstairs, Su Xiaoming, who was watching TV, jumped up. She turned her head to look at the guest room, sneered a few times, and went upstairs to her room. Where is he? Xiao Chen came out of the guest room and looked around. The TV was not turned off, but the person was gone. On TV, a Korean drama was playing. The male lead held the female lead's face, looked at each other affectionately, and then started a wet kiss. Fuck, it's so yellow. No wonder there are no pure children now. These Korean dramas have corrupted them. Xiao Chen shook his head and switched to Animal World and watched it with relish. About 10 minutes later, Su Xiaoming came down from the upstairs. She looked at Xiao Chen, who was sitting on the sofa watching TV, and pouted. How can this guy appreciate Korean dramas? But when her eyes moved to the TV screen, she stumbled and almost rolled down the stairs. On the screen, a male lion was riding on a female lion, performing some of the most primitive actions, mating. The male lion roared while doing it, and occasionally opened his mouth to bite the female lion's neck, which seemed a bit violent. You are shameless, actually watching this kind of thing. Su Xiaoming's pretty face turned red. She had secretly watched People and People before, but she had never seen this animal. Huh? Xiao Chen was stunned. You mean the lion? How is it shameless? Don't you think this presents a kind of primitive wild beauty? Beautiful your sister. Su Xiaoming gritted her teeth. This guy is a complete hooligan. He must be driven away as soon as possible, otherwise, my sister will be in danger. Xiao Chen shook his head. Alas, children nowadays don't know how to appreciate primitive beauty. They only know how to watch meaningless Korean dramas. A good girl doesn't fight with a hooligan. Su Xiaoming said angrily. I'm a gangster and I'm proud. I won't talk nonsense with you. The light switch in my room is broken. Go up and help me fix it. Really? Xiao Chen looked at Su Xiaoming with suspicion. Of course it's true. Why would I lie to you? You can't fix the switch, right? If you can't even fix the switch, what kind of bodyguard are you? Su Xiaoming said with contempt. Xiao Chen was speechless. What does being a bodyguard have to do with fixing the switch? Hurry up, the light can't be turned off, how can I sleep at night? Su Xiaoming urged. Okay, you go back to the room first, I'll go get the tools. Well. The toolbox is in the storage room outside, I'll go up first. Xiao Chen looked at Su Xiaoming's back, thought about it, went back to the guest room first, then went to get the tools and went upstairs. After entering the room, Xiao Chen looked around. Su Xiaoming's room was not as cute as he imagined. There were only a few dolls on the big bed. Huh? Suddenly, Xiao Chen's eyes lit up suddenly. Black lace thongs? I'll go wash my face first. You fix the switch. Su Xiaoming sneered in her heart when she saw Xiao Chen noticed the thong. The bait had been thrown out, and now it was time to give the fish a chance to eat. Okay. Su Xiaoming walked into the bathroom, closed the door, and pressed her ear against the door, listening carefully to the noise outside. Asshole, I'm sacrificing a thong to see if you'll take the bait. As long as you touch it, you're done, hee hee. Su Xiaoming had a smug look on her face, and she couldn't help but picture the scene outside in her mind. Xiao Chen couldn't resist the temptation, picked up her thang, and put it on the tip of his nose, and then, it was too perverted. I couldn't bear to watch it. No, although she didn't want the thong anymore, she had worn it before. If a man really smelled it, then. Of this, she couldn't wait any longer. She opened the bathroom door and rushed out, shouting, You bastard, what are you doing? I'm fixing the switch for you. Xiao Chen didn't even raise his head and continued to fiddle with the switch with a screwdriver. Su Xiaoming was dumbfounded by the scene in front of her. Why was it different from what she imagined? She turned her head to look at the thong on the bed. It was exactly the same as before, with no signs of being moved at all. You. Su Xiaoming gritted her teeth. She wanted to ask loudly, Are you a man? Xiao Chen raised his head and looked at Su Xiaoming's expression. He smiled secretly in his heart, but looked confused. What's wrong with me? Su Xiaoming took a deep breath and tried to calm down. Nothing, is it fixed? Almost. A few minutes later, Xiao Chen put away his tools. Fixed. Su Xiaoming stepped forward and pressed the switch, forcing a smile. Not bad, it seems that you as a bodyguard are also useful. Of course. Su Xiaoming opened her arms and smiled. Then let's have a friendly hug and live in peace from now on. Live in peace? Okay. Xiao Chen was very happy and hugged Su Xiaoming tightly. Boy, if I shout now and my sister sees you hugging me and acting like a hooligan, do you think she will chase you away? Su Xiaoming leaned over to Xiao Chen's ear and said playfully. Being a hooligan? Xiao Chen was very surprised and shook his head. Such a pure hug, you actually call it being a hooligan? Let me show you. Just when Su Xiaoming realized that something was wrong, there was a pop sound, and Xiao Chen's right hand slapped her buttocks and pinched it. This is called being a hooligan, okay? You are looking for death. Su Xiaoming was furious, and her right knee hit Xiao Chen's crotch. This was the first time she had been touched on the butt by a man since she was a child. Xiao Chen took 2 steps back and took a breath of cold air. Little girl, you are so cruel. You actually want me to have no children or grandchildren? Dare to touch my butt, I will destroy you. Stop. If you do it again, I will tell your sister that I will go to school to protect you. Humph, then I will tell her that you didn't sleep late at night and came to my room to molest me. Xiao Chen pointed to the toolbox and was a little proud. I came up to repair the switch. Do you think your sister will believe you? Su Xiaoming gritted her teeth and said, get out of my room. Okay, then I'm out. Good night. When Xiao Chen walked to the door, he paused. By the way, Xiaoming, I actually think you are not suitable to wear black lace thongs at your age. High KT or Ari is more suitable for you. After that, he quickly closed the door and ran downstairs. Su Xiaoming was stunned, and then she was furious. She grabbed the doll beside the bed and smashed it hard against the door. Go to hell, you son of a bitch. Do you really think I'm easy to bully? I'll get you out tomorrow. Su Xiaoming sneered and took out a small camera from a hidden corner. All the scenes just now have been recorded. She only needs to edit the video and keep only the clips of Xiao Chen hugging her and touching her buttocks, and then give this processed video to her sister. Then. Humph. But when she turned on the camera, she was dumbfounded. The screen was full of snow and garbled characters, and nothing was recorded. In the guest room downstairs, Xiao Chen took out an electronic device the size of a mobile phone from his pocket and grinned, Girl, you are still a little naive. Do you think the American her is fake? Since Su Xiaoming called him upstairs to fix the switch, he felt something was wrong. Sure enough, as soon as he entered the room, there were traps at every step. First, the thong, and then the camera was found. One killer move after another. Fortunately, he was prepared and had her in his pocket. This is an electronic device specially used by American agents. It is similar to a recording interceptor, but its function is much more powerful than that. Once her is turned on, all recording and filming equipment will be disturbed and unable to work properly. So, he is happy to play with this little girl. Hey, I don't know what the little girl's reaction will be now. I guess she will cry. Xiao Chen couldn't help laughing, but when his eyes touched the ring on his left hand, a dim color flashed in his eyes. Episode 5. Uncle Chen. Old Su, I have seen your sister. Don't worry, I will protect them. No one can hurt them unless I die. Xiao Chen stroked the gray ring that seemed to be carved out of bones, his tone low and firm. He has had this bone ring since he was a child. According to the old fortune teller, there is a huge secret. Half a month ago, he went to Naga with the guidance of the old fortune teller to try to unlock the secret of the bone ring. The one who accompanied him at that time was Su Qing's brother, Su Yunfei. As a result, Su Yunfei died to save him. Before he died, he mentioned that his sister called and asked him to come and help solve the problem. Therefore, after returning from Naga, he came to Longhai City without waiting for his injuries to heal. He was afraid that if he came too late, Su Qing and her sister would be in danger. But now it seems that the situation is not that bad. Lao Su, after I help your sister solve the problem, I will go back to Naga to look for clues. Blood debts must be paid with blood. No matter who the other party is or which force they belong to, I will make them pay the price. Chen exuded a cold murderous aura, and his eyes were full of sharp cold light. The ringing sounded, and he restrained his murderous aura and answered the phone. Brother Chen, how is your side? Everything is going well. Oh, then where do you live? Come to my place? I live with Su Qing. Xiao Chen lit a cigarette. Xiao Dao, how is the thing I asked you to do going? 3 places have been selected, and I'm waiting for Brother Chen to decide. Well, I'll go there when I have time tomorrow. Okay. After hanging up the phone, Xiao Chen took a few deep puffs of the cigarette, got up and walked into the bathroom. There was no conversation all night, and dawn came in a blink of an eye. Around 6 o'clock, Xiao Chen got up. After washing up, he left the villa quietly and walked around. This is his personal habit. When he comes to an unfamiliar environment, he he always wants to understand it clearly at the first time, so that he can react in the shortest time if there is any emergency. When he returned to the villa, Suqing had already gotten up and was making breakfast in the kitchen. Hearing the sound of the door opening, Suqing poked her head out and saw that it was Xiao Chen. She smiled and said, "Are you going out for morning exercise?" "Yes, I went out for a walk." "Wait a minute, breakfast will be ready soon." "Haha, do you need my help?" "No, I can do it alone." As the two were talking, Su Xiaomeng came down from the stairs. She looked at Xiao Chen and couldn't help grinding her teeth. Last night, she used 2 killer moves in a row, but not only did she fail to take down Xiao Chen, but she was touched on the butt, which made her so angry that she couldn't sleep most of the night. Until she fell asleep, she didn't figure out why the good camera didn't record anything. Could it be that Xiao Chen did it? But how did he do it? Especially when she thought of what he said before he left, she hated him so much that her teeth itched. It was really abominable. Xiao Chen ignored Su Xiaomeng's gritting teeth and greeted her with a smile. "Xiao Meng, good morning." "Hello, your sister." I don't have a sister." "Xiao Chen, tell me honestly, did you do that with the camera?" Su Xiaomeng stared at Xiao Chen and lowered her voice. Xiao Chen laughed in his heart, but his face was full of confusion. "Camera? What camera?" "The camera in my room." Xiao Chen pretended to be shocked. "Oh. Xiao Meng, there is a camera in your room? Do you often take selfies? This is not good, it's not safe. Have you forgotten the porn scandal a few years ago? Get lost, you are the one taking porn photos, your whole family is taking porn photos." Su Xiaomeng clenched her fists. If she could beat this guy, she would have punched him in the face. "What are you two talking about?" Su Qing came out of the kitchen and handed Xiao Mei a glass of honey water. "Haha, talking about photography," Xiao Chen said with a smile. "Xiao Chen, do you like photography too?" "Xiao Meng likes it too. You can communicate more often." Puff. Su Xiaomeng just took a sip of honey water and heard this, it all sprayed out. "Communicate more? Communicate about what? Communicate about how to take porn photos?" "Xiao Meng, what's wrong with you?" Su Qing looked at Xiao Mei's reaction and asked in confusion. "Ahem, it's okay, I choked." Su Xiaomeng covered up and said. "Drink slowly, you are so grown up. You two continue chatting, I'll go fry eggs." Xiao Chen suppressed his laughter and nodded, "Okay." When Su Qing returned to the kitchen, Su Xiaomeng pointed at Xiao Chen and said angrily, "Boy, don't be arrogant, I will definitely get you out, definitely." "Really?" Xiao Chen scratched his head, "Then I have to talk to your sister about my going to school." Su Xiaomeng was about to cry, "Damn, is this guy a man? How can he threaten himself with this? God, please strike a thunder and kill this guy." "Xiao Meng, you see, there is no hatred between us, how about making a deal? Don't try to drive me away, and I won't go to school to make things difficult for you, how about it?" "Impossible, I must drive you out." "Then there is no room for negotiation?" "No." "Oh, then I'll talk to your sister, I think she must be very happy to let me go to school to protect you," Xiao Chen said, and turned to the kitchen. Su Xiaomeng got anxious when she saw it. "You son of a bitch, come back here." "What did you call me?" Xiao Chen turned his head and raised his eyebrows. "You son of a bitch." "No, Xiao Chen. You are disrespectful, you have to call me Brother Chen, understand? I'm Chen, your uncle." Su Xiaomeng couldn't hold back her anger again. "Oh, you can call me Uncle Chen, but I'm a little too old." Fuck. Su Xiaomeng almost choked to death. "It's not a good habit for a girl to swear, well, I have to talk to your sister about this," Xiao Chen said, pretending to go to the kitchen again. Su Xiaomeng didn't have time to get angry, and hurriedly stood in front of Xiao Chen, her tone softened. "I won't chase you away, is that okay? We should keep to ourselves. It worked just now, but not now. Then, what do you want to do? Call Brother Chen to hear it?" Xiao Chen said with some pride. "What, you don't want to call?" Su Xiaomeng gritted her teeth and clenched her fists, and finally took a deep breath and said, "Brother Chen," in a cowardly manner. "Speak louder, the signal is not good, I can't hear you." Su Xiaomeng suppressed the anger that was enough to burn the Pacific Ocean dry, and shouted, "Brother Chen." Hey, Xiao Chen agreed, look how good this is, why make it so tense? Right? Su Xiaoming squeezed out an ugly smile, but cursed in her heart, damn bastard, let's just wait and see. A few minutes later, the three of them sat around the dining table, happily eating breakfast. At least, that's what it looked like on the surface. After finishing their meal, they packed up and drove out of the villa, first sending Su Xiaoming to school, and then heading to the company. Xiao Chen, Xiaoming is a bit perverse and rebellious, so don't bother with her. After Su Xiaoming got out of the car, Su Qing said to Xiao Chen. No, I think this girl is pretty good. As for rebellion, who hasn't rebelled at this age? Su Qing smiled and changed the subject. I discussed it with Sister Lan last night. You will enter the company as my personal bodyguard and be affiliated with the security department. What do you think? I have no objection. Well, as for the specific matters, just listen to her arrangements when you get to the company. Okay. Xiao Chen nodded, thought for a while, and asked, Su Qing, what trouble have you encountered? Su Qing's eyes changed slightly, but soon returned to normal. I received a threatening letter a while ago. Threatening letter? Who gave it to me? Not sure. Then do you suspect any targets? No. That means we can't do anything except passive defense? Su Qing nodded. Well, so now we can only wait. Okay. Xiao Chen was helpless and cursed in his heart, damn it, you'd better show up earlier, don't let me wait too long. Su Qing glanced at Xiao Chen and sighed in her heart. It's not that I don't tell you the real trouble, but this matter involves too much. Once it is leaked, it will probably be a storm. For a moment, the two of them were thinking about their own things, and no one spoke. When they arrived at the company, Su Qing gave a few instructions and started to get busy, while Xiao Chen went to the assistant's office. Sister Lan, you are so beautiful today. Xiao Chen's eyes lit up when he saw Qin Lan. Qin Lan wore a black dress today, outlining a beautiful curve and highlighting her sexy style. Why, wasn't I beautiful yesterday? Qin Lan pretended to be angry. Of course not, Sister Lan is beautiful every day, always so charming. When Xiao Chen praised a woman, he didn't even have to think about it, he just said it out loud. Haha, you just say nice things to coax me. Qin Lan smiled charmingly, sit down, President Su has told you everything, right? Yes, I have no objection. Don't worry, although you are affiliated with the security department, you are not under the jurisdiction of the security department. You have two leaders, one is President Su. What about the other one? The other one is me, haha. Xiao Qing glanced at Qin Lan's chest that was shaking with laughter, grinning, Sister Lan, as a leader, you won't take advantage of me, right? Then it depends on your performance. Qin Lan's eyes were as charming as silk. Hey, then I have to perform well. After the two of them teased for a few words, Qin Lan introduced the situation of the security department to Xiao Chen. The security department is affiliated with the administrative personnel department, with a total of more than 50 people, but most of them are assigned to the factory headquarters. There are more than 20 people on the company side, and they are in charge of a security supervisor. Your office is also over there in the security department. I have another office? Of course, but that's temporary. When my office next to it is ready, you can come here. Hey, there's no need to make such a fuss, right? Can't we just share an office? As the saying goes, men and women work together and work is not tiring. Xiao Chen deliberately emphasized the word work. You kid, you're taking advantage of me again. Qin Lan rolled her eyes at Xiao Chen. I won't talk nonsense with you anymore. I'll take you over to report. Don't bother Sister Lan. I can go by myself. Qin Lan nodded. Okay, go ahead. I'll call the security supervisor. Okay. Xiao Chen left the assistant's office, went to the toilet first, and then strolled towards the security department. Episode 6. How about you guys come together? More than 10 minutes later, Xiao Chen arrived outside the security department, forced a friendly smile on his face, and pushed open the door. In the office sat a thin young man in a security uniform, looking down at his mobile phone game. When he heard the voice, he hid his phone and looked at Xiao Chen nervously. Who are you? Hello, my name is Xiao Chen, I'm here to report to the security supervisor. Ah, you are Xiao Chen? Hello, my name is Ding Li, everyone calls me Dingzi. The thin young man hurriedly stood up, a little embarrassed. Xiao Chen smiled. Ding Li? Where is your big brother Su Wenqiang? Hee hee. Ding Li scratched his head, a hint of restraint and shyness flashed across his face. Ding Li, why are you the only one in the office? Where are the others? Xiao Chen looked around and asked. Ding Li heard this, he thought of something and his face changed. Xiao Chen, they are all working out in the gym. Supervisor Lu told you to go to the gym to find him. Oh, where is the gym? I'll take you there. A trace of worry flashed across Ding Li's face. Xiao Chen, when you meet Supervisor Lu later, you must lower your attitude. Xiao Chen was stunned. What's going on? Let's go. Ding Li sighed. Being targeted by Supervisor Lu, life will not be easy. Xiao Chen nodded, followed Ding Li, and walked towards the gym. Remember, you must lower your attitude and be patient for a while. When they arrived at the door of the gym, Ding Li gave a few more instructions. Xiao Chen smiled. He finally saw that this guy was very timid and was probably a bullied person in the security department. Ding Li pushed open the door of the gym, with a flattering smile on his face. Manager Lu, Xiao Chen is here. Hearing Ding Li's voice, the 5 or 6 young men who were exercising all looked towards the door. Are you Xiao Chen? A 30-year-old, muscular man looked at Xiao Chen with a provocative look. Yes, he is. Ding Li said hurriedly. Did I fucking ask you? Go, get me a bottle of water, the man scolded. Ding Li held back the second half of the sentence and nodded timidly, I'll get it right away. Xiao Chen frowned when he saw this scene, but didn't say much. Boy, I'm asking you a question. Are you Xiao Chen? Yes, I am. Xiao Chen nodded, facing the man's provocative look, who are you? As soon as these words came out, the gym fell into a brief silence, and everyone was a little dazed. How dare this guy talk to Lu Yenluo like this? Especially Ding Li, who was about to get water, was sweating coldly. It's over, it's over. Man was furious and glared at Xiao Chen. I am the security supervisor of the security department, Lu Dekue. Oh, it turns out to be Supervisor Lu. Xiao Chen smiled. Excuse me. Boy, I don't like you, do you know that? Lu Dekue said coldly. Hee hee, I know, I'm more handsome than you, it's normal for you to dislike me. Humph, as Mr. Su's bodyguard, are you only good at talking? Xiao Chen restrained the smile on his face. So you know that I am Mr. Su's bodyguard, not your security guard? Lu Dekue's face changed, and he said gloomily, as the supervisor of the security department, I have to be responsible for Mr. Su's safety. So, I need to conduct an assessment on you for Mr. Su. If you fail the assessment, I will go to Mr. Su and ask you to get out. Xiao Chen looked at Lu Dekue and suddenly asked, Hey, Supervisor Lu, do you have a wife? No. Then do you have sisters? Lu Dekue was stunned. Why did this guy suddenly ask these questions? However, he still shook his head and said no. Then I am surprised. I didn't cheat on you, and I didn't rape your sister. Why are you targeting me? Xiao Chen said helplessly. Lu Dague was furious. Damn it. I have been Su Qing's driver and bodyguard for almost a month. I was just planning to fall in love with her, and you suddenly jumped out and took my good job. Who else should I target if not you? Of course, he would not say this. He just frowned and said righteously, I am not targeting you. I am only thinking about Mr. Su's safety. Come on, don't be a whore and want to be a saint. Tell me, how do you want to be evaluated? Xiao Chen was a little impatient. He was not finished yet. If you want to be Mr. Su's bodyguard, you must at least have strong enough fighting power. So, I plan to let the brothers in the security department fight with you to see if you have real kung fu. You said so much, don't you just want to beat me up? Okay, I accept the challenge, but I have to warm up first. Lu Dekue was delighted when he saw Xiao Chen agreed. Boy, I will let you know the consequences of offending me, Lu Yenluo, in a while. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes to warm up, is that enough? No, 2 minutes will do. Xiao Chen jumped a few times on the spot and did some stretching exercises. Xiao Chen, how can you agree? They are all very powerful, especially Director Lu, who came from the army. Ding Li was a little anxious when he saw Xiao Chen accepting the assessment. Although Ding Li's voice was small, it still fell into Lu Dekue's ears. He glared at him and said, "Ding, you are looking for death, right? Get out of the way, I will deal with you later." Dingli shuddered and dared not speak again, but still used his eyes to remind Xiao Chen not to fight with them. Xiao Chen felt warm in his heart. Although this guy was timid, he was still a good person and a friend worth making. "Don't worry, it's okay." Xiao Chen smiled at Dingli, glanced at the eager young men, walked to the sandbag next to him, and kicked it a few times. "Boy, it's been 2 minutes, have you warmed up?" Lu Dekue urged. He couldn't wait to see Xiao Chen being beaten up. The guys in the gym today are the most capable elites of the security department. Even though he came from a special forces unit, he didn't dare to say that he could definitely beat them. In his opinion, Xiao Chen is dead. The young men next to him, seeing the look Lu Dekue gave them, clenched their fists and shouted at the same time. "Boy, hurry up, don't waste time." "Yes, why do you want to be Mr. Su's bodyguard? I'll knock you down later and see how you have the nerve to be a bodyguard." "Fuck, don't even talk about being a bodyguard." Listening to the shouting of the young people, Xiao Chen smiled playfully. He was originally a little lazy, but suddenly he was like a sword out of its sheath, showing an incomparable sharpness. Bang! Xiao Chen's right foot, like thunder, kicked the sandbag hard, making a dull sound. The next second, the sandbag, which was originally very strong, suddenly exploded from the middle, and iron sand splashed out and fell to the ground. Ka! The shouting of all mouths and tongues stopped abruptly, and everyone looked at the exploded sandbag in shock. How could this be possible? The warm-up is over, and it can start now. Who wants to fight me? Xiao Chen did not look at the exploded sandbag, but looked at Lu Dague and others, with a very domineering tone. His voice awakened the dazed crowd. Subconsciously, everyone took a step back, including Lu Dague. Kicking a sandbag with one kick was really scary in their eyes. "How about you all come together?" Xiao Chen pointed at several young men. "I'll challenge all of you." Several young men shook their heads. It was a joke. If they could kick a sandbag, they would be crippled. Lu Dague saw that his men were scared and his face was ugly. "What are you afraid of? Can't several people beat him? Now is the time for you to show your loyalty to General Manager Su. Come together." Several young men were very unhappy, but they couldn't stand their boss's words, so they could only bite the bullet and rush towards Xiao Chen. Bang! The young man who rushed to the front was kicked away by Xiao Chen. Then, he was like a tiger entering a flock of sheep, with a pair of iron fists opening and closing, sweeping in all directions. In just a dozen seconds, 5 or 6 young men fell to the ground and screamed. Although Xiao Chen didn't even use half of his strength, so they wouldn't break their bones, it was still extremely painful. Dekue's face changed. How could he be so strong? "Manager Lu, they are all lying down. Now it's your turn?" Xiao Chen looked at Lu Dekue provocatively. Lu Dekue's face changed again. Although he didn't want to go up and ask for abuse, if he didn't do it, what prestige would he have in the security department? Thinking of this, he roared and rushed up with his fist clenched. "Boy, I'm going to fight you for 300 rounds. Bang! Xiao Chen threw a punch and collided with Lu Dekue's fist. He was slightly surprised. This guy is really good. He is much stronger than the mountain wolf-toothed special forces soldier brought by Ren Kuan. The two fists collided, and Lu Dekue's face trembled a few times. The severe pain from his fist almost made him scream. However, he still held back and kicked out with his right foot quickly, heading straight for Xiao Chen's chest. Bang! Xiao Chen came later but arrived first. They also fought head-on. Their right legs collided with each other, making a dull sound. Lu Dekue's right leg trembled, he took a breath of cold air and staggered back. 300 rounds? Haha, let's finish it in 3 rounds. Xiao Chen finished speaking, stepped forward with his left foot, and hit Lu Dekue's stomach with his right fist. Ah! Lu Dekue screamed, feeling as if his stomach was hit by a sledgehammer, flying backwards and hitting the ground heavily. "Manager Lu, have I passed the assessment?" Xiao Chen came in front of Lu Dekue and looked down at him. Passed. Lu Dekue said, holding his stomach, hunched over, and endured the pain. "Haha, thank you for letting me." Xiao Chen pretended to bow his hands, looked at everyone, and said with a smile, "My temporary office is located in the security department. We will be colleagues in the future. I hope we can get along well. Don't bully me, the newcomer. Hearing this, except Dingley, who was overjoyed, everyone else cursed in their hearts. Damn it, who dares to bully you? Okay, the report is over, I'm leaving, you guys continue to exercise. Xiao Chen was about to leave, but he thought of something and pointed at Dingley. Also, I will protect him from now on, I don't want anyone to bully him again. Xiao Chen, I. Dingley's eyes suddenly turned red. Come on, help me clean up the office. Xiao Chen said with a smile. Okay. Dingley nodded vigorously and quickly followed Xiao Chen. Lu Dague looked at Xiao Chen's back, his eyes became sinister. Kid, we have a long time to come, I will kill you sooner or later. And Dingley, don't think that you can be a human being just because Xiao Chen supports you. In my eyes, you are still a dog that can be bullied. Episode 7. Arrogant Occupation. Xiao Chen and Dingley returned to the security office, and the latter was still a little excited. Brother Chen, is what you just said true? Of course it's true. Don't be afraid of them in the future. If anyone bullies you, tell me. Yes. Dingley nodded and said seriously, Brother Chen, from today on, you are my big brother, Dingley. Haha, then what do you want Brother Chang to do? Xiao Chen made a joke. Dingley scratched his head, Brother Chen, I don't know any Brother Chang. From now on, I only recognize you as Brother Chen. Okay, as long as I'm in Longhai for one day, I will protect you for one day. Xiao Chen patted Dingley's shoulder, but you're too timid, I'll have to find a chance to train your courage in the future. Dingley shrugged his head, as if he was ashamed of his cowardice. My dad said that I am a coward by nature, born timid and afraid of things. Brother Chen, can I really become braver? Haha, I can't make your balls bigger if they are small, but there is a way to make you timid. Xiao Chen said with a smirk. Then I will listen to Brother Chen in the future, and I will do whatever Brother Chen tells me to do. Okay, let's not discuss this for now. Where is my office? Dingley looked a little strange when he heard this, and pointed to a door, that one. Xiao Chen didn't notice Dingley's expression. He walked forward to open the door, and his face immediately turned dark. Is this my office? What? Caught his eyes were the randomly stacked tables and benches, covered with a layer of dust. On the ground, there were all kinds of broken things, piled with beer bottles, beverage bottles, and the like. In addition to these, there were even a few pairs of stinky shoes. Standing at the door, Xiao Chen could smell the smell. Well, this is the utility room of the security department. Supervisor Lu said that it would be your office. Dingley said weakly. Xiao Chen's face darkened a little more. What else did he say? He also said that if you come, he will beat you into the hospital, and this utility room will not be used. Dingley said this, and seeing that Xiao Chen's face was getting darker and darker, he hurriedly said, Brother Chen, don't worry, I will clean it up for you right away. Don't bother, where's Lu Dekue's office? Xiao Chen's face sank. Lu Dekue, do you really think I am a soft persimmon that is easy to bully? That. Xiao Chen slammed the door of the utility room, walked into Lu Dekue's office, took a few glances, and said domineeringly, I will use this office in the future. Ah. Dingley was so scared that his legs went limp. Occupy Manager Lu's office? Then when he comes back, won't there be a big uproar? Just when Dingley was trembling with fear, Lu Dekue came back with a few young men. Manager Lu, you are back. Dingley was full of trepidation. Humph. Lu Dekue snorted coldly, where's Xiao Chen? Manager Lu is looking for me? Xiao Chen's voice came from the office without waiting for Dingley to speak. Lu Dekue was stunned and took a few steps forward. When he saw Xiao Chen sitting in his office chair, he couldn't help but widen his eyes. Why are you in my office? Manager Lu, I have requisitioned this office. Hurry up and pack up your personal belongings. What? You requisitioned it? Lu Dekue was furious when he heard this. This is my office, your office is in the utility room next to it? Xiao Chen sneered, is that the office that General Manager Su arranged for me, or was it Assistant Qin who arranged it? If they knew, what do you think they would think? Lu Dekue's face changed when he heard this. Then you robbed my office, where? Should I work? That utility room, you can just clean it up, right? Xiao Chen said lightly. You. What, Manager Lu has an opinion? Do you want to go talk to General Manager Su and Assistant Qin, or do you want to compete with me? Xiao Chen said, raising his fist arrogantly. Lu Dekue looked at Xiao Chen's arrogant appearance and almost suffocated to death. Thinking of him, Lu Dekue, since he joined the security department, he has been a bully. Who dares to be so arrogant to him? But now, not only was he beaten, but even his office was occupied. Don't mention how angry he is. Unfortunately, he has no way to fight. He can't beat them. If he goes to General Manager Su and Assistant Qin, he will not be in the right. He can only swallow this breath first. Okay, very good, Xiao Chen, you want to go against me, right? Lu Dekue glared at Xiao Chen and said with gritted teeth. If I don't go against you, you won't go against me? Xiao Chen asked back. I'll give you 5 minutes to move your personal belongings out. Otherwise, I'll throw them all into the trash can. Xiao Chen said unceremoniously. Lu Dague's face changed several times, but he didn't dare to provoke Xiao Chen again. He gritted his teeth and said, you guys, move your personal belongings out. Yes. Several young men nodded and began to move things out. Seeing his men moving things out one by one, Lu Dague's face became even uglier. Every time he moved something, it was as if a slap was slapped on his face. The slap was slapping, but he couldn't avoid it. Next to him, Xiao Chen crossed his legs and sat on the chair that originally belonged to Lu Dague. Looking at his face that looked like his father had died, he sneered in his heart, damn it, I don't want to be on the same level with you, but you are so arrogant, your face hurts now, right? A few minutes later, Lu Dague's things were moved out. Before he could say a few more polite words, Xiao Chen spoke, Ding Li, have you noticed that when Director Lu's things were moved out, the air in the whole office became much fresher and the grade was also improved? Ding Li's mouth twitched a few times, and he didn't dare to respond. You. Lu Dague was furious. Isn't this too much of a bully? Manager Lu, come visit us if you have nothing to do. Goodbye, I won't see you off. Humph. Lu Dekue snorted angrily and slammed the door. Ding Li looked at Lu Dekue's back, his face full of worry. Brother Chen, you offended Manager Lu so much, be careful of his revenge. Revenge? Haha, if he doesn't mind the pain, just come and take revenge. Xiao Chen smiled contemptuously. He didn't take Lu Dekue seriously at all, he was just a jumping clown. I heard that Manager Lu is very familiar with people in the underworld. Okay, don't worry, come, help me clean up the office. Oh. While they were cleaning up the office, Lu Dekue and others were also busy cleaning the utility room. 5 or 6 people cleaned up for more than half an hour before they cleaned up, and then they simply arranged it, and Lu Dekue moved in. Brother Lu, that guy is too arrogant. Are we just going to put up with this? Put up with it? Lu Dekue said with a sinister look on his face. Sooner or later, I will make him pay the price. Brother Lu, I heard from Xiao Li that Ren Kuan came to the company yesterday and had a conflict with Xiao Chen. Suddenly, a young man next to him said. Oh. What happened? Lu Dekue's eyes lit up. The young man told the news he heard from his colleague on duty yesterday in detail. After listening to it, Lu Dekue was overjoyed. Haha, Xiao Chen, it's okay to offend me, but you also offended Ren Kuan? I want to see how you die. Then you go and tell the brother on duty, if Ren Kuan comes, tell me immediately. Okay. After the office was cleaned up, Xiao Chen took Ding Li and left the security department. Brother Chen, you are Mr. Su's bodyguard, not the company's security guard. Why are you patrolling the company? Now, Ding Li has regarded Xiao Chen as his idol. Not to mention that he can become Mr. Su's bodyguard, just the fact that he abused Lu Dekue is enough to make this guy who has been bullied by Lu Dekue worship him crazily. Haha, I have nothing to do anyway, so I just stroll around. Xiao Chen smiled and said casually without telling Ding Li the real reason. Oh. After a stroll, Xiao Chen knew that there were a total of 7 buildings around, which could cover the company. In addition, the security force at the back door of the company is not enough. If there is any emergency, it will be too late to react. It seems that I have to remind Su Qing to pay attention to the security of the back door. Pinsu.com. And suddenly, Xiao Chen couldn't help patting his forehead, shaking his head and smiling bitterly. Isn't it just a threatening letter? Is it necessary to make it so nervous? This is China, not a foreign country. The possibility of someone using a few snipers to cover the entire company is minimal. Besides, it is not certain whether the threatening letter is true or not. What if someone is playing a prank or trying to scare Su Qing? Even if it is true, he will fight back when the enemy comes. As a young commander, how can he be afraid of a few country bumpkins? Thinking of this, Xiao Chen felt a lot more relaxed and took Ding Li to walk around the building again. Afterwards, Ding Li went to the door to be on duty, while Xiao Chen said hello to Su Qing and drove out of the company. Half an hour later, the Maserati stopped at the door of a bar called Loneliness. The door was half open, and it was obviously not open yet. Before Xiao Chen got out of the car, a thin young man limped out of the bar and said, "Brother Chen, you are here. Well, let's go in and talk." The thin young man nodded and took Xiao Chen to his office. After a few simple greetings, Xiao Dao took out a folder from the drawer. "Brother Chen, these are the 3 cemeteries that have been preliminarily selected. Take a look." Xiao Chen took it and didn't open it. "Where is Lao Su?" "Next door." "Take me to see him first." "Okay." The two came to the next room, and Xiao Chen saw the urn on the table at a glance. There was a photo in the middle of it, with a handsome young man on it. Xiao Chen silently stared at the young man in the photo. He was the eldest brother of the Su sisters, Su Yunfei. Xiao Dao sighed and quietly left the room. It took more than 10 minutes for Xiao Chen to return to the office. "Xiao Dao, which cemetery is the most expensive?" Xiao Dao took out a few pieces of information from the folder. "This one is the most expensive, and the people buried around are all well-known figures in Longhai." Xiao Chen took it, looked at it carefully, and nodded with satisfaction. "This is it." "Are you sure?" "Yeah." Xiao Chen pointed at the promotional picture with his hand and smiled. "I think Lao Su will like it here too." Facing the sea, spring flowers blooming. Episode 8. A knife that killed countless people. In the utility room of the security department, in the office, Lu Decue was applying safflower oil on his belly. Previously at the gym, he was hit in the stomach by Xiao Chen, and it was already red and swollen. A slight touch made him grimace in pain. While applying safflower oil, he cursed Xiao Chen's ancestors in his heart. He must pay back the beating and the hatred of having his office taken away double. Bang! The door of the office was pushed open, and a security guard ran in from outside. "Brother Lu, Ren Kuan is here." "Where is he?" Lu Decue stood up suddenly, and he gasped again in pain. "He just entered the company gate." "Let's go and see him." Lu Decue put down the safflower oil and walked out quickly. As soon as he left the office building, he saw Ren Kuan walking over with 2 middle-aged men. "Mr. Ren." "It's Manager Lu." Ren Kuan nodded to Lu Decue, not being polite. Lu Decue glanced at the 2 middle-aged men behind Ren Kuan, wondering, wasn't he here to seek revenge on Xiao Chen? Why did he only bring 2 people? "Manager Lu, is there anything? If not, get out of the way. I have something to do." "Haha, Mr. Ren, how come you have time to come here today?" Lu Decue asked with a smile. "Stop talking nonsense. Did Su Qing ask you to stop me?" "Lu Decue, I tell you, no one can stop me today. I must kill that bastard," Ren Kuan said coldly. When Lu Decue heard this, he knew what was going on. "Haha, Master Ren is here to cause trouble for Xiao Chen? Good to know, get out of the way. He's not in the company. He's Su Qing's bodyguard, where would he be if he's not in the company? Get out of the way. Master Ren, he just drove out in President Su's car and hasn't come back yet." "Really? Why would I lie to you, we are friends." Ren Kuan raised his eyebrows with a little contempt. "Friend?" Lu Decue ignored Ren Kuan's contempt, smiled and nodded. "Of course, the enemy of my enemy is my friend." "The enemy of my enemy? You mean?" "I have a grudge against Xiao Chen too, I wish I could skin that guy alive." Lu Decue looked ferocious. "What's going on?" "Master Ron, let's talk in my office." Ren Kuan thought about it, nodded, and went to the office with Lu Decue. "Weren't you in that office before? Why did you change offices?" "That office was occupied by that bastard Xiao Chen." Lu Decue was furious and told the details of the matter. Ren Kuan felt much more at ease after hearing it. This guy was even more miserable than himself. Mr. Ren, don't you think this guy is going too far? That's right. The two of them talked back and forth, one saying that Xiao Chen was arrogant, the other saying that Xiao Chen was overbearing. The more they talked, the more excited they became. They directly described Xiao Chen as the kind of villain who could only survive 2 episodes at most in a TV series. They wished they could drag him out and shoot him for 10 minutes. Old Lu, Xiao Chen is the only one not here today. Otherwise, I will just cripple him and throw him into the river. Do you believe it? I believe it. Young Master Ren is not bad. Lu Dagui nodded. But young Master Ren came to trouble Xiao Chen. Why didn't he bring more people? Ron Kuan turned his head and looked at the 2 middle-aged men next to him. He grinned, Old Lu, I forgot to introduce them to you. They are all bodyguards hired by my father at a high price. They are all first-class masters. Any one of them is enough to torture Xiao Chen to death. First-class masters? Lu Dagui was shocked. The secular world is vaguely divided into 5 levels based on strength, namely, no rank, third-rate masters, second-rate masters, first-rate masters, and martial arts masters. Those who can be called first-class masters are already real masters. You know, he who came from a special brigade is just a second-rate master. In his opinion, Xiao Chen's strength is about first class, equivalent to the king of soldiers in the Ace Special Brigade. Now that Ren Kuan has brought 2 first-class masters, wouldn't it be very easy to torture him? Thinking of this, Lu Dagui was overjoyed and gave a thumbs up. Mr. Ren is really generous. He is a top-notch master at his first try. Awesome. Ha ha ha. Ren Kuan laughed triumphantly. Old Lu, don't worry. After I beat him up, I will definitely give you a chance to beat him up. Haha, then I'd like to thank Master Ren first. The two looked at each other and laughed, as if they had already seen the scene of Xiao Chen being beaten up. In the bar office, Xiao Chen and Xiao Dao were still discussing about Su Yunfei. He had never thought that Lu Dagui would get involved with Ren Kuan. Course, even if he knew, he wouldn't take it to heart. What kind of waves can 2 jumping clowns make when they get together? Brother Chin, after buying the cemetery, when are you going to bury him? As soon as possible. Xiao Chen took out a bank card and handed it to Xiao Dao. There are 6 million in it. Okay, I'll arrange the rest. Xiao Chen nodded. Fortunately, Xiao Dao was in Longhai, otherwise, he didn't know who to hand over these things to. The two discussed the burial again and finally decided on it. By the way, Xiao Dao, how is your leg? Xiao Chen lit a cigarette and his eyes fell on Xiao Dao's right leg. Xiao Dao forced a smile and said, what else can I do? Anyway, it doesn't affect my food and drink. It's lame, so it's no big deal. After returning to Longhai, didn't you go to the hospital again? Even the best surgical hospital in the United States can't help, so what's the use of Longhai Hospital? I think it's pretty good now, running this bar and enjoying an ordinary life. Although Xiao Dao said this, Xiao Chen knew that this was not his true idea. He hasn't come out of the blow of lameness, and he has also fallen into a state of depravity. Xiao Chen was silent for a few seconds, and then slowly asked, Xiao Dao, do you believe me? Of course, you saved my life, who else can I believe? Okay, then remember, one day, I will definitely heal your leg. Xiao Chen said seriously. Xiao Dao was stunned, and hesitantly said, Brother Chen, you also saw me last time and said there was no way. Just because there was no way before doesn't mean there will be no way in the future. Anyway, leave your leg to me. Xiao Dao saw that Xiao Chen didn't seem to be coaxing him, and he was very excited. Okay, isn't it just a leg? You can do whatever you want. As long as you ask, let alone a leg, even my life, I can take it at any time. Damn, I'm healing your leg, why do you make it sound like I'm going to take off your leg? Xiao Chen rolled his eyes. Hey, I'm really excited. Xiao Dao grinned. Brother Chen, don't leave at noon. I'll buy you a drink. Xiao Chen hesitated. I'll call and ask for instructions. Huh? Ask for instructions? Xiao Dao was stunned, and then thought of something. No way? Brother Chen, you just came back for 2 days, and you found me a sister-in-law? Stop talking nonsense. I'm Su Qing's bodyguard now. Oh, then ask for instructions. Xiao Chen called Su Qing and briefly explained. The latter told him to take care of his own things and just go back before work. While Xiao Chen was on the phone, Xiao Dao arranged for the bar chef to cook a few dishes, and then asked the waiter to deliver the wine to the office. The dishes, not many, for the wine, not expensive, Red Star Erguatu. Xiao Dao opened the Red Star Erguatu and poured Xiao Chen a glass of wine. Come on, brother Chen, I'll toast you a glass. Haha, okay. The two clinked their glasses and drank the white wine in the glass. Xiao Dao wiped the corner of his mouth and put down the wine glass. Brother Chen, when you invited me to drink for the first time, it was also 4 dishes and Red Star Erguatu. That was my first time drinking Red Star Erguatu, and you told me that men should drink the strongest liquor and play with the most beautiful women. Don't be ridiculous, I only told you to drink the strongest liquor. As for the words, play with the most beautiful women, how could I say that? Xiao Chen said in an obviously innocent way. Xiao Dao grinned, none of this is important. What's important is that I remember your words, and I am still the same me, and I have not forgotten my original intention. Xiao Chen nodded. He didn't want to see Xiao Dao fall, and he felt much more relieved after hearing what he said. The two chatted while drinking and talked about a lot, including the fact that Su Qing received a threatening letter. After a few glasses of liquor, Xiao Dao was a little tipsy. He stood up and pulled out a long narrow knife from the chair. Brother Chen, although my leg is lame, the hand holding the knife is still intact. If you need it, this knife can accompany you to conquer Longhai and slaughter all directions. Xiao Chen looked at the drunken Xiao Dao and the knife in his hand that had killed countless people, smiled, and nodded slowly. Okay. Episode 9. Looks matter. At around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Xiao Chen left the lonely bar. The two of them drank for more than 3 hours and finished 5 bottles of Red Star Erguatu. Even Xiao Chen, who had an outstanding alcohol tolerance, was about 5 or 6 points drunk. He did not leave immediately, but fell asleep on the sofa. As for Xiao Dao, he was even more drunk. He held his knife that had killed countless people, and he didn't even leave the table. He just fell down. Thinking of Xiao Dao's face full of pain while covering his head when he left, Xiao Chen couldn't help laughing. This kid is still offended. On the way, Xiao Chen called Su Qing and picked her up at the company gate, and then the two rushed to school. When they arrived at the school had already been over. As soon as they parked the car, they saw Su Xiaomeng coming out of the campus. Su Qing, how are Xiaomeng's grades? Not good, just passed every subject. Su Qing was a little troubled when it came to her younger sister's studies, but she didn't want to force her younger sister, as long as she was happy. Moreover, after working hard in society for several years, she also fully understood that academic performance would be a joke after leaving school. A piece of paper diploma is sometimes not as important as imagined. 60 points in every subject? Xiao Chen was surprised. Su Qing nodded and smiled bitterly. This girl doesn't like to study, and I don't want to force her. I plan to send her to study abroad after the college entrance examination. Haha, don't you think it's harder to get 60 points in every subject than to get full marks in every subject? Xiao Chen looked at Su Xiaomeng, who was approaching from afar, and said meaningfully. Su Qing was stunned, and then her heart was shocked and her eyes widened. Okay, Xiaomeng is here, let's not discuss this anymore. Xiao Chen smiled and muttered to himself, I didn't expect Xiaomeng to be such a top student. But why did she fail the exam on purpose? Su Qing smiled happily. After Xiao Chen's reminder, she understood that Xiaomeng was not a bad student, but she failed the exam on purpose. No matter what the reason was, it was better than not studying well, right? I'll have to find a chance to have a good chat with her some other day. The car door opened, Su Xiaomeng got in the car, she saw the smile on her sister's face at a glance, and asked curiously, Sister, what are you so happy about? Nothing. Su Qing looked at her younger sister lovingly, Xiaomeng, we're going to eat out tonight, what do you want to eat? I want to eat Western food. I heard that a French restaurant has just opened in French City. It's very authentic. How about we go and try it? Okay, I'll listen to you. Su Xiaomeng was overjoyed to see her sister agreed, Sister, you're so nice. Hee hee, you girl. Su Qing chuckled, Xiao Chen, do you know how to get to French City? I know. Xiao Chen nodded, turned the car around, and drove towards French City. Along the way, the two sisters were chatting, mostly Su Xiaomeng was talking, Su Qing was listening, and laughter came from time to time. Since getting in the car, Su Xiaomeng has never paid attention to Xiao Chen, which made him feel helpless. What is this? Is it cold violence? However, listening to the laughter of the two sisters, he still felt a trace of warmth and happiness in his heart. This was like a family, not the coldness and ruthlessness he had experienced before. French City is located in the east city of Longhai, on the bank of the river. This used to be the French concession. Later, the French concession disappeared. For various reasons, some of the buildings at that time were not demolished, and many Western restaurants were opened later. Therefore, this area has such a name, French City. Xiao Chen had been to French City several times before, so he was familiar with it and soon found the French restaurant that Su Xiaomeng mentioned. Xiao Chen, have you been here before? Su Qing asked curiously when she saw Xiao Chen was so skilled. Well, I've been here twice. Xiao Chen nodded. He had been to this international city many times before, but he was always in a hurry. This time, I don't know how long he will stay. Hey, Xiao Chen, since we are already here, you can leave. Come pick us up after we finish our meal. Su Xiaomeng finally paid attention to Xiao Chen, but she drove him away. Xiaomeng, stop messing around. Su Qing frowned and scolded. Su Xiaomeng pouted, feeling a little aggrieved. You only know how to scold me, but you didn't see how this bastard bullied me and even touched my butt. Xiao Chen, don't be angry, I've spoiled this girl. Su Qing said apologetically. Hee, I already treat Xiaomeng as my sister, how can I be angry with her? Xiao Chen said with a smile. Su Qing nodded, glared at Xiaomeng again, and walked towards the French restaurant. Because it was still early, there were not many people in the restaurant, so the three of them chose a relatively quiet place and started ordering. The French waiter came over with an exquisite menu, glanced at the three people, and handed the menu to Su Qing very elegantly. Xiaomeng, you order first. Su Qing gave the menu to Xiaomeng, and also wanted to take the opportunity to listen to her spoken French. For this sister, Su Qing can be said to have worried a lot. Seeing that she was not very good at studying, she planned to arrange for her to study in France, and specially hired a French tutor to teach her French, so as to avoid all kinds of discomfort there. Su Xiaomeng took the menu and rolled her eyes. Sister, Xiao Chen is the guest, why don't you let him order first? Su Qing didn't think much and smiled with relief. Although Xiaomei was rude just now, she should know she was wrong now that she gave way to Xiao Chen. Haha, ladies first, you should go first. Su Qing didn't see Su Xiaomeng's sinister intention, but Xiao Chen saw it clearly, he just wanted to make a fool of himself. Seeing Xiao Chen refuse, Su Xiaomeng felt that he couldn't understand the French menu. She sneered in her heart, boy, I'll embarrass you today. Xiao Chen, no, brother Chen, you are the guest, of course you have to go first, otherwise my sister will blame me for being impolite. Su Xiaomeng said very sincerely. Xiao Chen, it's rare that Xiaomeng is so sensible, you go first. Su Qing said with a smile. Seeing Su Qing said so, Xiao Chen no longer refused and took the menu. Okay, then I'll obey your order. As he said, he opened the menu and started browsing. Seeing Xiao Chen pretending to look at the menu, Su Xiaomeng drew up a sarcastic smile at the corner of her mouth. Boy, you don't know a single letter, do you? Just as Su Xiaomeng was waiting to see Xiao Chen make a fool of himself, he closed the menu and directly communicated with the French waiter in fluent French. To Xiao Chen's fluent and authentic French, the French waiter's eyes lit up obviously, and even his smile became more sincere. Looking at Xiao Chen happily communicating with the waiter, Su Xiaomeng was dumbfounded. How could this be different from what she imagined? Next to her, Su Qing was also shocked, because she found that Xiao Chen's spoken pronunciation was even more standard and authentic than the French tutor she hired for her younger sister. Xiao Chen glanced at the two sisters, especially when he saw Su Xiaomeng's stunned look. He laughed in his heart. Girl, you want to see your brother make a fool of himself, but you are shocked in the end, right? Okay, I've finished ordering. Xiao Chen put the menu back in front of Su Xiaomeng. Just now, this handsome French guy recommended me some authentic French dishes. Do you want to try them? Oh, sure. Su Xiaomeng nodded in a daze. Su Qing took a deep look at Xiao Chen. He surprised her again. What kind of person is he? Now he has opened the second page of this thick book. I wonder how much more exciting things will happen next. After the French waiter left, Su Qing couldn't help but say, Xiao Chen, you're French. Oh, I used to stay in France for a while. Xiao Chen explained casually. Su Qing suddenly realized, but still felt that Xiao Chen was very good, because many international students who have stayed in France for many years cannot speak French so standardly. Su Xiaomeng, on the other hand, secretly said, "Boy, you have escaped a disaster." The dishes were served one after another. Looking at all the delicious food, Su Xiaomeng didn't care about competing with Xiao Chen. She danced with her knife and fork and devoured them. Xiao Chen and Su Qing's movements were much more elegant, especially the latter, who looked so pleasing to the eye. Suddenly, a pleasant sound of music slowly sounded, and Su Xiaomeng turned her head to look at the central stage, where two blonde and blue-eyed French girls were playing the piano and cello. "Sister, they have such good temperament, like a princess," Su Xiaomeng said with some envy. "Are you envious now? I asked you to learn the piano, but you didn't learn it. But it's not too late now, I'll help you sign up for a class." Su Xiaomeng was a little moved. "Sister, then tell me, which one is easier to cultivate temperament, piano or cello?" Before Su Qing could answer, Xiao Chen spoke. "Xiao Meng, I think temperament has nothing to do with what you learn. It mainly depends on your face. If you are beautiful, you will have temperament even when playing suona, but if you are ugly, playing golf is like shoveling shit." The movements of the Su sisters were all frozen. Playing golf is like shoveling shit? It's too disgusting to say this while eating? Especially Su Xiaomeng, who had just forked up a piece of yellow curry goose liver and was about to enjoy it. She thought it was delicious just now, but now she felt sick no matter how she looked at it. It looked too much like poop. "Xiao Chen, are you going to let me eat?" Su Xiaomeng was so angry that she threw the goose liver back on the plate and almost stuck the fork into Xiao Chen's forehead. Xiao Chen was stunned, but after seeing the expressions of the two women, he understood at once and smiled bitterly. "Okay, it's my fault." After hearing what Xiao Chen said, the two women lost their appetite for the delicious French Western food. They drank some juice and stopped using their knives and forks. Xiao Chen, on the other hand, ate and drank as he should. He had been in all kinds of harsh environments on the battlefield. If he was so pretentious, he would have starved to death long ago. After finishing the meal, the three of them went shopping in the nearby mall before driving back to Tulip Villa. Bang! Su Xiaomeng turned on the light in the living room and was about to pounce on the sofa to rest for a while, but was pulled back by Xiao Chen. "Xiao Chen, what are you doing?" Su Xiaomeng stumbled and almost fell. "Don't go in yet." Xiao Chen stood at the door, looking a little serious. Su Qing was startled. "Xiao Chen, what's wrong?" Episode 10. "Also minister? Someone has been to the villa." Xiao Chen's voice was not loud, but it made the Su sisters change their faces. Could it be a thief? Su Xiaomeng made a guess, but looking at the living room that had not changed much, she felt something was wrong. If a thief had broken in, he would definitely rummage around everywhere. After Xiao Chen confirmed that there was no danger, he stepped into the living room and observed carefully. "Xiao Chen, can you stop being suspicious? There is nothing wrong at home, how could someone have been here?" Su Xiaomeng sat down on the sofa and said somewhat dissatisfiedly. Xiao Chen ignored Su Xiaomeng, but strolled around the living room, stopping from time to time to look for something. "Hey, Xiao Chen, I'm talking to you." Su Xiaomeng saw that Xiao Chen ignored her and couldn't help but get angry. "Xiao Meng, stop making noise." Su Qing frowned slightly. She felt that Xiao Chen would not make a fuss. "Sister, don't listen to this guy. If there really is a thief, the whole place would have been in a mess. Who said that coming to the villa is just to steal things?" Xiao Chen replied. "Humph, if he doesn't come to the villa to steal things, then is he going to give things to others?" Xiao Chen smiled, spread out his palm, and revealed something the size of a fingernail. "You are right. The person who came here is not here to steal things, but to give things to others." "What is this?" "A bug." "What? A bug?" Su Qing's face changed drastically. In her opinion, this is far more serious than a thief breaking into the villa. Xiao Chen nodded. "That's right. This kind of bug can eavesdrop within a range of 30 meters, which means it is enough to cover the entire living room." "Xiao Chen, you didn't make this bug yourself, and you are taking this opportunity to highlight your importance, right?" Suddenly, Su Xiaomeng stared at Xiao Chen and said. Xiao Chen was stunned, then he didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "Do I need to?" "That's not you, how could there be a bug suddenly?" "How should I know?" Xiao Chen was helpless, thinking of something, looking at Su Qing. Could it be your business rival or maybe a business rival? Su Qing didn't wait for Xiao Chen to finish, interrupted him and winked at him. Xiao Chen was puzzled, but didn't say anything more. Business rival? Are people in the mall so despicable now? Su Xiaoming said with a frown. The mall is like a battlefield, with all kinds of means emerging one after another. Xiao Chen, is there only this one bug? There is only this one in the living room. As for upstairs, I have to go up and check it out. Su Qing's face changed again. Then you hurry up and check upstairs to see if there are any more bugs. If it is really a bug, it's nothing. What if there is a pinhole camera? Oh my god, won't the whole thing be exposed? Su Xiaoming was also a little nervous. At the urging of the two women, Xiao Chen went upstairs and found another bug in Su Qing's room. It was clear that the other party installed the bug just to target Su Qing. Sister, why don't we call the police? Su Xiaoming looked at the two bugs on the coffee table and couldn't help saying. Su Qing shook her head. We can't call the police, and it's useless even if we call the police. Then what should we do? We found it this time, who knows if they will install it again next time. Su Qing was also a little worried when she heard this. Who is it? Could it be? Thinking of something, her face turned a little pale. Xiao Chen noticed Su Qing's face and thought she was worried about the bug, so he smiled and said, You don't have to worry too much, I have a way. What way? Xiao Chen went back to the room and took out her and introduced its functions. As long as it is always on, you can block everything, don't worry about eavesdropping or secretly filming. Su Qing breathed a sigh of relief, but Su Xiaoming stared. Damn it, it turned out that the camera didn't record last night. It was really this bastard who did it. Xiao Chen was just living in vain, when he suddenly noticed Su Xiaoming's murderous eyes. He was shocked. It was over, he was exposed. Xiao Chen, turn on the her for now and put it in a hidden place. We have to investigate the bug slowly. Su Qing said, and stood up. It's getting late, let's all go to bed early. Okay, then I'll go back to my room first. Xiao Chen felt uneasy and was afraid that Su Xiaoming would cause trouble, so he grabbed two bugs and slipped back to his room. Xiaoming, don't worry about the bugs, I'll take care of it. You have to go to school tomorrow, go back to bed early. Oh. Su Xiaoming originally wanted to find Xiao Chen to settle the score, but seeing her sister staring at her, she had no choice but to go back to her room. After her younger sister went upstairs, Su Qing's face flashed with worry. Who installed the bug? In the guest room, Xiao Chen looked at the two bugs with a serious expression. These were not ordinary bugs, but the 7th generation bugs newly developed by the island country's military. If it was an ordinary business rival, how could it possibly have the island country's military's bugs? Also, Su Qing seemed to have something to hide. What was she hiding? It seems that the matter is more than just a threatening letter. Xiao Chen narrowed his eyes cold. However, no matter what, since he had promised Su Yunfei, he would definitely do it. No matter what happened, he would protect the Su sisters. If a god came, he would kill the god. If a Buddha came, he would kill the Buddha. Xiao Chen thought about it for a long time, but he couldn't figure it out. He was too lazy to think about it anymore. He threw the two bugs aside, washed up and went to bed. That night, Xiao Chen didn't sleep well. He dreamed of the dead Su Yunfei and the incident half a month ago. In the dream, Su Yunfei was covered in blood and stood in front of him until he fell to the ground. At 6 o'clock, Xiao Chen opened his eyes. He did not get up immediately, but stared at the snow-white roof and was in a daze for a while. A long time, Xiao Chen let out a breath, got up, dressed, washed up and went to the living room. On the dining table, a delicious breakfast was already prepared. This made Xiao Chen couldn't help but smile. Who said that a female president has to be cold and like an iceberg? Look at Su Qing, she is a goddess of the type of good wife and good mother. Just as Xiao Chen was thinking about it, Su Qing came out of the kitchen and greeted him. Didn't you get a good rest last night? Xiao Chen looked at Su Qing's pale face and asked with concern. I didn't sleep much in the first half of the night. For the bug? Yeah. Don't worry, I'm here for everything. Xiao Chen said comfortingly. Su Qing forced a smile and nodded. Well, it's a good thing you're here, otherwise. Haha, since I'm here, even if the sky falls, I'll carry it and won't hurt you sisters. Hearing this, Su Qing's heart trembled slightly. Apart from her eldest brother, Xiao Chen was the first man to say this to her. Does Xiao Meng know that you received a threatening letter? Xiao Chen thought of Su Qing stopping him from saying more last night and asked. Well, she doesn't know, I don't want her to worry. Xiao Chen nodded. This is really a good sister. A few minutes later, Su Xiaomeng came down. Because her sister was there, she couldn't trouble Xiao Chen. She glared at him fiercely, and then started to eat breakfast. After dinner, the three left the villa, sent Su Xiaomeng to school as usual, and then came to the company. Xiao Chen originally wanted to go directly to the security department, but after thinking of something, he went to her office with Su Qing. As soon as he entered the door, Xiao Chen raised his eyebrows. What happened? The office has also been bugged. Xiao Chen said, and he began to search carefully. He soon found a bug that was exactly the same as the one in the villa. Su Qing's face turned ugly. There was a bug in the office? Boss Su, the company should have surveillance video, right? Xiao Chen held the bug, his expression a little cold. Yes, there is surveillance. Su Qing nodded hurriedly after hearing this. Then I'll check the surveillance first to see if there is anything to find. I'll go with you. Okay. The two came to the monitoring room, called up the surveillance video, and watched it carefully. Xiao Chen could be sure that there was absolutely no bug in the office yesterday morning, which means that the bug was put in yesterday daytime or last night. But to his disappointment, he did not find any abnormalities, and no strangers had entered the president's office. Xiao Chen, what should we do now? Su Qing has already regarded Xiao Chen as the backbone. Although she is not weak in ability, she has never encountered such a thing after all. Su Qing, don't worry. Let me ask the security guards on duty last night to see if they found anything. Okay. Su Qing nodded, thinking of something. Xiao Chen, the position of head of the security department is vacant now, why don't you take it? This will also make it easier for you to find out about the situation. Xiao Chen was stunned, and took on the role of head of the security department.